Hey guys, how are you doing? Today we are going to cover onboarding. We're super excited for this one. It's something that you can use to tag in the future when you get future teammates or tag your current teammates, and this will exist for you. So we're super excited to have this for you. And we've broken it down into a couple of different sections. So let's just jump into it. If you guys have any questions or anything, just drop them below and we will get to them. But okay, so the first thing where we're gonna start, I'm gonna actually screen share and I'm gonna show you guys our training because I think this is super important to check out this training section that we have. We have tons and tons of training in the back office, but I want you guys to start with the foundations. Because if you check out the foundations, it's going to cover all of the what's a VIP, what's Smart Start, your contact list, sharing and sampling and following up, just like some of the basics so you know what we're talking about as we're talking. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. If you're watching this and you know nothing about money, stop this and go watch this really quick so you can know just the basics and get started. The next thing, so this is getting connected. That is a really big part of your business. You want to be connected and be in the know of everything going on. So I'm just going to jump into the next thing since we have the screen sharing going. This is our team page, and this is Slay Squad.
You're in it. If you're watching this, you're in it.
Yeah. You're in it. And so this units tab is really what I want to talk about. Sure, there's like all these posts and stuff like that. But this units tab, if you click it, it depends. It might be somewhere different it might be across the top on your phone, but there are getting started videos, product videos, mindset, VIP training, social media tips. And that's what my Facebook does now, but there's more. So there's tons and tons of information in these units tabs. So if you're looking for training, start here and then also check out the training here because you're gonna have tons of great training between the two of them. I'm just going to show you a couple of other important groups to be in because there's a lot of groups out there and we don't want to add you to like 10 groups at the very beginning. You can get added to groups as you keep going, but let's just focus on the important ones at the very beginning. So Slay Squad is our page, Greta and I's page. And then awesome. Oh, okay, there we go. This is Money Market Partner Official. So this is actually run by corporate. They're going to announce sales here. They're going to announce conference updates. There's one right there. Different things, different trainings and different congratulating people and everything like that. So this page is great. Lots of information there. It's good to just check it out and be in the know of what's going on. This is another fabulous page. Money Hair and Skin Testimonies. I'm actually going to link these at the top so we have them so you guys can find them easily. But this is great because you can scroll through here and find a ton of different hair types, different things. But then you can also use the search option if you're looking for maybe oily hair or dry hair, frizzy hair, whatever it is, you could throw in search and it pops up everyone that's ever posted about that before. And if you're looking for new before and afters and stuff, you can always come through here. And then the final page that we're going to touch on is the Redream Your Life page. And there's a chance that you're already in this because this is for people interested in the business. So in here, we go live every Tuesday night with a different story and we share all different stories. You can use these to tag anyone interested in the business in here. And there's so many different things you could, use this for a teacher, a nurse, a stylist, different things like that. You can use the search bar there also. We're getting this page going, so it'll be growing and growing with more people. But those are the key pages. Just wanted to go through those really quick and actually show you guys them so you know what you're working with. Those are the key pages to just be in the know of, keep an eye on, and utilize. Utilize the testimonies page for products, utilize the Redream Your page for opportunity stuff. But other than that,
a good quick list, because like Lindsay said, there are so many pages. Like you can be added to groups all day long and you're going to probably gain knowledge from all of them, but it's a good quick list of staying connected with the team, staying connected with corporate, getting the product knowledge in the before and after pictures, and having a place to share opportunity videos. If you just want that those 4 pages are going to be all you need.
Perfect. And then we also get communication in emails. So checking your emails, and then they also typically copy the email into the back office. So there's like a stream in the back office showing the current promotions or any announcements or anything like that too. So just staying connected is important. We know that you're busy. We know that you want time freedom. We know that you want more. We know that that's why you're here. So we're not trying to make your list longer. We're just trying to actually help you get there faster and get things done and not get overwhelmed. The next topic that we're going to touch on is mindset and conquering your mindset. You're going to hear us talk about mindset so much in all of our videos, in everything. You're going to see your mindset shift during this time. It's really cool what this business is capable of. But so mindset is really big, and setting expectations for yourself is, I think, one of the first steps to take in this business. What do you think?
When you think about conquering your mindset going into this business, if you can set your expectations right from the beginning, it's going to help you stay in the mindset that you need to be successful here. And so one of the things that we always train on is making sure that your expectations and your goals are in alignment with the time that you have to devote to this business, the energy that you're willing to put forth to learn the new things that you need to learn in this business. Because you guys, if you are brand new, there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be things that you don't know yet that you're going to have to figure out and educate yourself on before you can find success here. And it's one of the main components in finding success, is being willing to educate yourself, learn the things, give yourself time and grace to do that. Because a lot of times people will come into this business and they'll feel a little bit overwhelmed, or they'll feel kind of like out of their league, because you'll see really successful people and you'll think like, I don't know any of that. My social media isn't that good yet, or all this stuff. And we play this comparison game when maybe you didn't see their starting point, right? So we're talking about your starting point, and you can get inspired by other people on this page who have found incredible amounts of success, but you also have to manage those expectations and remember that they started as brand new with a kit in the mail too, and they gave themselves time to figure out what this business was all about, how they could get really, really good at it, and that's where you're at. So take inspiration from people who have found success here, but remember that they all started from square one as well. So it's that old thing, comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 25, right? And this is important in keeping that healthy mindset to becoming successful here. So managing your expectations is a big one. Think about the time that you have to devote to this business and how much time you're willing to give it. And then make sure that the amount of, or whatever your goal is, make sure that that aligns, right? Because you can't come into this business and say, I want to make $25,000 a month and I have an hour on Saturdays. Those two things are not in alignment.
Yeah.
If you said to me, I want to make $25,000 a month, how do I do that? I can show you how to do that, but it's going to take more than an hour on Saturdays. So just making sure that those two things go together. And then also remembering, you guys, that negativity is going to happen upon you. It just is. It's something that you just can't avoid, but you can know that it's coming and you can be prepared for it. And you can also conquer your mindset into remembering that the negativity isn't going to change your business. There are going to be people who tell you no. There are going to be people who try your samples and they're like not impressed. There are going to be people who join your team who you might not even hear from again. And you could let all these things defeat you, or you could know that the only thing that's going to change your business are your happy customers who love the product, the people who join your business and they're ready to get to work with you, and the people who say yes. The people who say no have zero impact on your income, on your rank, on any of your bonuses or your trips that you can earn, or any of the advancements here. Absolutely none. So remembering that only the people who say yes and who work this business with you and who love these products with you, those are the only people who at the end of the day are going to impact your business in any anyway. So just remembering that too, because I know that people can get frustrated, especially when you're new and you're so excited and you're thinking like, I know my sister's going to want to do this with me. And I know at least my mom will be a customer. And if those two people say no to you, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, well, that's kind of what I was banking on. Right. And so also remembering that, yes, you should have, and we're going to talk a little bit more about your market and the list of people that you want to contact and stuff in a little bit, but you might have this idea of how you want your business to go, and it might not go that way. And you might end up taking a completely different road than you thought when you started. I have 3 sisters. None of them are in this business with me. None of my oldest, closest friends decided to do this business with me. It just wasn't for them. But I also know that if I was opening any other kind of business, I couldn't just depend on my mom to support that business or my best friend from back home to buy product from me to have a successful business, whatever it was, right? If you have a clothing boutique, you're not going to stay afloat by your cousin and your sisters shopping with you. You're going to have to expand that. So just keeping the bigger picture in mind is going to really help with that too. And just knowing that this might not play out how you expected it to or how you wish it would. Those people could still come around down the road, but all roads lead to success here as long as you don't give up. So just because it doesn't look like exactly how you wanted it to in the beginning does not mean that it's not going to work for you. There's different steps that we can take. So we're going to talk more about that too.
I love all of that because I feel like those are all fantastic things to hear at the beginning. Like, okay, I might get a couple of no's, and if I do, that's okay. And if you do get no's, you're not the only one that's getting no's. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part.
And I think it's because when we launch this business, we obviously launch it because we're excited about it. So we expect other people to be as excited as us. They might not be. You could watch a brand new show and be like, I love this. Like, Lindsay, you've got to watch this. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And Lindsay watches one episode and she's like, I don't see it. I don't understand. Right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You're sharing something that you're excited about and that you like. And some people are going to catch that enthusiasm and some people aren't. And that is okay. We are not in the business of convincing everyone that they have to love this too. We're in the business of sharing what we have our hands on. And it's up to other people to decide if they want to be part of it or not.
Absolutely. I love all of that. Something else that's super important in this is making goals. Because just like at the beginning, you said, how much time do you want to commit? How much money do you want to make? Well, kind of work backwards from that. How do you get there? What are your goals? Are you doing this to maybe take a vacation? Are you doing this to pay off your credit cards? Are you doing this to hopefully be able to quit your job and have a different income source? You know, it doesn't matter how big or how small your goals are because they are your goals, but you have to know what your goals are. And there is a statistic, I don't know, it's something, the high 90s, but the high 90% of people will not hit their goals because they don't have them written down. So write down your goals, take your goals seriously, set them, even if it's in your phone, if it's making a background for your phone, if it's just writing it on a piece of paper, wherever it is, figure out the goals that you want and what this business is going to provide. Because even in the end, I was always like, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this for the money, but the money funds everything else that you're going to do, right? Because even if I have a friend that donates all of her commission to a charity, well, in the end, it's still about the money because you have to make the money, you know? So it's like, how is the money going to help your goals? Figure out what your goals are and why you're doing this. Why are you doing it? What is the thing that's going to keep you waking up in the morning and pushing forward? What is the thing that's going to make you show up on a day that maybe you're like, oh, not today? You know what I mean? Figure out what that why is and what's driving you to create your goals and to obtain your goals and all of that stuff. Figure it out, because if you don't have that, I think it's like a really, really big point, because then it gives you something to focus on. It gives you drive. It gives you all of these things. And your why can change over time. I started this business to pay off some credit cards. That's all. And now it's turned into so much more, you know? So your why can change, everything can adjust, but it's just having that focus. The next thing is we always say, sorry.
So I wanted to talk about goals before you move, go on to number 4. One important thing to remember about planning out your goals is to make some so crazy, wild that maybe you don't even believe them yet. Make your goal so big that it scares you to tell people about it, right? Your big end goal. Like, if I could get everything I want out of this business, what would that look like for you? Like paying off your house, traveling around the world, joining the $1 Million Club, hitting the top of the company and getting your Range Rover, all these like big, crazy, like, I don't even know if I believe in myself enough that I could do that. But if I really could just claim it, this is what it would be. And then you also have to have bite-sized, manageable goals along the way, because you want to have that big thing that you're striving for. But if that's the only goal that you have, every single day until you get there will feel like you've fallen short, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have smaller, we call them bite-sized goals, manageable goals along the way, so that you can start to feel more confident and that you're getting there, right? So those goals could look like enrolling 2 market partners, posting on my social media 5 days a week and being very consistent with it, because we know that that will bring traffic and interest into your business. Sampling at least 15 people a month, following up with this many people, all things that you can control and that you know are income producing and that are going to build the foundation of your business, things that you can cross off along the way, because you will get to that big goal one day and you'll turn around and be like, holy cow, this was a culmination of all those little things that I got to check off along the way. Paying off your first credit card, whatever it is, you guys, you want to have these manageable things that you're crossing off along the way on your way to that big, big thing. Instead of just thinking about the end game, like, I want to go and get my cattle. Great. What are the small things that you can cross off along the way that are going to build upon each other, that are going to get you there? Because if your only goal is getting your Cadillac, you will feel like you're falling short every single day until then. And that kind of circles back to number 2 in conquering your mindset, and ties these 2 things together, because that's a tough mentality to work through, feeling like you haven't reached your goal yet every single day, right? And so you can make those small manageable goals. It's going to help you kind of stay on track too.
Totally. And we have ranks that advance. She said some of the rank titles as we were going, but we have ranks that advance throughout that help you achieve these goals. And the great way to start is focus on the first one and then focus on the next one. So our first rank is MMP. And what that is having 2 market partners on your team that have 200 in volume each, at least. And then you have 300 in volume. And then as a total, and I don't want to overwhelm you because we have charts, we have videos, we have visuals, all the things, but then the total is 1,200. So you would have 1,200 in sales, 2 people active on your team, and you yourself would have 300 in sales. That's the first goal. How do you get there? How do you get there? Well, if you follow our Smart Start program, which I hope you're familiar with, if you watch the foundations, you're familiar with it. Smart Start is our bonus structure, and what it breaks down to is 3 market partners and 12 VIPs. If you got 2 market partners and a couple of VIPs, if you completed 2 of the blocks, you'd be promoted. You complete 3 blocks, you're hitting even more ranks. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool that all of our stuff kind of falls into itself, right? If you follow the Smart Start structure, you're going to start promoting. And then also your Smart Start lasts your first 2 full months plus the month you joined. So also if you then follow that Smart Start structure as you go and continue through your business, you're going to have a growing business. You're going to have a thriving business. You're going to have goals of what to focus on, because saying hitting a rank or paying off your credit cards. Let's just keep using that example, paying off your credit cards. Yes, that's my goal, but how do I get there? How many blocks do you have to do to pay off your credit card? How much is your credit card? Like, what is it? And work backwards. So using this block mentality is super great, because that's 4 VIPs and 1 market partner. And even Greta and I continue that through our business years in. We have goals based on blocks, right? And it's like, how many blocks do you want to do? So it's a structure that will get you there, which is super, super nice. Oh, and we actually have a PDF that I'm going to share really quick. It's called Share, Sponsor, Duplicate.
This is my favorite thing. I tell people to print this every single month as like a fresh start for your month, because even once you get to this rank, this is still a amazing map to follow to keep you on track every single month. I'm a senior executive director. Lindsay is a managing market mentor, and we still follow this to keep us on track every single month, because I know that if I'm enrolling 2 market partners and VIPs in a month, like, I'm good. My business is growing. I can teach those people to find success. And it's not overwhelming, right? And it really gives you something to focus on. So this sheet is amazing because it can serve as a tracker. You can go ahead and print out 5 of them at once and have a fresh start every single month and just have these ready.
I like writing right here, writing the current month and the year, and then saving them. And then you also know, like, okay, who signed up 2 months ago? Let's go refer back to that and check in with them, you know, because you'd have all of it filled in and stuff.
Yeah, and this gives you a super great tool to do every single month to really keep you on track, who to follow up with, who to reach out to, all those kinds of things are listed there. So if you're not using that tracker sheet, download it and print some off, and I promise it will keep you on track.
Yeah, it all flows into MMP, which all flows into Smart Start, and it all just flows. Like, everything works together. So just totally use that.
Okay, so we're talking a lot about hitting these ranks and enrolling new people and reaching your goals and all that stuff, but how do you get there, right? So let's talk about planning your launch, because if you've watched the foundation videos and now you're watching our onboarding video and you've gotten yourself familiar with Smart Start, if you haven't watched that video, that's in here too. You can literally just search Smart Start and it'll break it all down for you. Now you know what to do. Let's talk about how to do it, right? So step 1 is making your list. Your list is like the gold mine that you're going to start tapping through to try to find the gold within, right? So I always tell people that Lindsay and I have been in this industry for a long time now, and I feel like it was always the 100s list. It was always make a list of 100 people that you know. And then I don't even remember what book I was reading.
It's the purple one. It's the first year.
Is it your first? Okay, so I was reading back through, it's called Your First Year in Network Marketing. I read it when I was literally in my first year in network marketing, and I was reading back through it, and it talked about not a 100s list, but a 2000s list. And I love this, and I know it sounds scary, but I'm going to explain it so it doesn't sound as scary. But if I were to ask you to make a list of 100 people, it would be a challenge, but you could probably get it done. You could probably take pen to paper and sit down at your dining room table, and maybe in an hour, you've got 100 names. You could scroll through your phone, find your contacts, maybe go through your Facebook friends list, and you could come up with 100. If I asked you to make a list of 2,000, that would probably be a lot more challenging. I don't think I could do that. I don't think most people with the network that they're coming in with could do that. But that's why we want you to try to make a list of 2,000, because your list will remain incomplete. Yes. And what this is going to do is put you in the mindset of growing your network, reaching out to new people, aligning yourself with new people, finding new people on social media that you have things in common with, branching out when you do launch events and asking for referrals, and all these ways that you're going to meet new people. It's going to make you feel like I still need a lot of people on this list. Like, I'm nowhere near 2,000. And on a day-to-day basis, instead of feeling like your list is done and now let's just go through the list, you're constantly going to be thinking about people to add. And when you have exchanges with people, you'll start feeling like, is this somebody that I could put on my list? Yeah. And when you are in Facebook groups about loving Bravo shows and you start making new friends with people, you'll start thinking, this is somebody that I would want on my list. And it just really puts the framework around constantly growing your network, because that's what this business is all about. Whether you enter this business with a massive network or just, you know, a handful of close friends and family who you're depending on to help you launch your business, it doesn't matter, because at some point, everyone needs to expand their network. Everyone is going to need to reach out to people that they didn't necessarily think about in that first round of who would I want to do this business with, right? So the sooner you can get into that mentality, which is why we ask you to make a list of 2,000 people to kind of place you into that mentality from the jump, the sooner you can do that, the less likely you will be to run out of people to talk to, because you're constantly making new connections, and connections in this business are the entire value. Everything that you're going to do is going to depend on the connections that you make. So why not start today in expanding your network and getting used to doing that every single day? So the 2000s list is my best advice for planning out how you're going to work your business.
I feel like the hundreds list is like, okay, check, done. But the 2000s list is like everlasting, and not something you can just check off as something that's like a lifelong, not a lifelong goal, but you know what I mean? Like an everlasting goal. Well, I really love that.
Start to work through your list and contact these people. They're either going to say yes or no. If they say yes, they're not on that list anymore. And now you need more people to make it 2000. Yeah. If they say no, maybe they're going to enter your follow-up list. If they give you like a firm, like absolutely not, I'm never doing that, like don't talk to me again about your business, then they're going to come off your list. So that list is going to change as you start to contact people too. Either
so it's almost impossible to hit 2,000, because then you're removing people that you had about first 100. Yeah.
And that's the whole idea. So yes, we want to ask you to make a list of 2,000 people, but it's because we know full well that you probably cannot. And that's the whole point.
Yes, I love that. The next thing that we highly recommend is a launch party. And what we mean by that is either an in-person get-together or a virtual get-together. I started 3.5 years ago, and whenever I started, I had a couple of teammates that started with me. And the really cool thing that we did was we joined together to do a launch party, and each of us had like 2 or 3 guests there. But because there were so many of us that invited 2 or 3 people, there were so many people, and it looked so much bigger than like a normal launch party. And not saying it has to be big or anything, but if you do have somebody that you are talking with and maybe they're interested in the business, be like, let's get you going so you can invite your people to this party and get going. But basically, I don't want to get too hung up on that. But basically, you want to do a launch party. And at this launch party, you could do skincare trial, like trying out the skincare. You could do a wine and wash, is what we used to call it, like typically before there was hair care. Or skincare, I mean. So when we only had hair care, we'd do wine and washes. You could do oil treatment parties. You could do a dirty hair party and do dry shampoo. You literally could have so much fun with this and do whatever you want with it. But really committing to the launch party and inviting the people that are on your list and inviting people that are local and the people that you think will enjoy this and you want to get their hands on it is super great. But then also you could do a virtual party, which I know a lot of us are doing virtual parties right now. And there's all different ways that you could do it. You could just do an event on Facebook, but you could also, something that a lot of people are doing right now, that I will actually link this. I'm going to write it down because I'm going to link, there's actually a YouTube that explains how to do a virtual party by turning it into like a VIP Facebook group, where you create a Facebook group and your first party is in that group, but then that group becomes the area for your potentials and your all of the people that you're interacting with, and it turns into something bigger, and it's not just one event. So it's like a launch for the group, which is cool. But there's a YouTube video that explains it, so I'm just going to tag that in the top so that way we have the link there. But yeah, do you have anything else about launch parties? I know I kind of like went all over the place there a little bit.
I think we're in like a weird time now where everything is pretty much virtual. Yeah. And I feel like it gets people off to a good start when they do a virtual launch, and you can do giveaways. Like if say I'm doing my virtual launch party and I invite my friend Lindsay, and then I could offer incentives to Lindsay for inviting people that she knows. And I'm like, hey, whoever invites the most people to this party. And that's a great way to expand your network right from the gate too. And then turning that into the place where you post things like your flash sales and your giveaways and all the kinds of stuff that you want to do is kind of perfect. And it's a good way to build your VIP page.
Yes.
One of the things that we wanted to talk about too is if you are thinking like, okay, so I need to work on my mindset, my personal development, conquering my expectations, setting my goals. I know what groups I need to be in now. I've made my list. What do I post? What do I say? Like, how do I now work my social media and get people excited? Or how do I talk to people about these products now? We have one tip for you and one tip alone in this video, because there's other videos that you can watch about all this kinds of stuff within this page and in your Market Partner Training Academy. But the one thing that we can tell you today that will keep this very simple for you is offering solutions. Think about all the things that we have solutions for. A really good idea is to print out the product list that's in the back office that literally lists every product that Monat has, and think about, for each of those products, what solution do they offer to people? Do they offer results? Can you talk about the science? Can you talk about the value, how they work? We're focusing on fighting frizz. It is summer, you guys. People have dry hair. People have pool water hair. People are looking for easy on-the-go styles because it's hot and they don't want to blow dry and battle with their hot tools and all these things. Think about a problem that people have that our products are a solution to, and you will never run out of things to say about our products. You will never run out of ideas for what to post on your social media or your Instagram stories or in your Facebook group or whatever you're doing. If you start with what solution does this have? People have not been able to get their hair cut in months in Arizona. What split end mender? Hello, you haven't been able to get into your salon for 6 months. I have a solution. Like, let's make it look like you got a trim. All these things, every single product offers a solution for something, and so does this business, you guys. As a whole, this business offers so many solutions to people. Lindsay just told you that she started this business to pay off her credit cards. People are in debt. People are looking for something that they can pour their ambition into. If they're not working right now, they are looking for extra income, all kinds of things.
The trips,
start with the solution.
The cars, like there's just so, like the Cadillac, the trips, the bonuses, it's just kind of just like printing out the product list. It's just like making a list of all of the things we have to offer. Everything is a solution. And
this is how you relate to people. This is how you're going to start to get people to look at what you're talking about and be like, oh, me, okay, she's talking to me, because that's me who does not want to blow dry my hair this summer. It's 117 degrees out today. Like, I am not trying to blow dry. And so the more you share those solutions with people, the more likely someone is going to be like, that's a problem I have, and you just gave me a solution.
Yep. All we're doing is selling solutions and just helping people. And when you look at it that way, it makes it so much easier. And like you said, you're never going to run out of content ever. If you ever like, what do I post about? What solution? Every single time.
That product list. Yes.
You're set. Yeah. And if you print out the product list, I think we have like at this point between 50 and 60 products, if not over 60.
Yeah.
That's 2 months of products, like a post. You know what I mean?
You can go into the testimonies page and you can find photos of just about everything. And you can share other people's results, even if it's not your hair type, not your skin type, not a concern that you battle. This is another quick thing, because sometimes we fall into talking about what we love, and that can like exclude people from what we actually have to offer. Because if I was only talking about thick, dry, coarse hair like mine is, I'm not speaking to the people who are like, oh, I could never put that much like conditioner or super moisture mask. Like, if your hair is fine and you get oily by the end of day 1, and I'm posting about how this added so much moisture to my hair, people are like, that is not me, right?
Right.
So if you're going down the product list and you're talking about things in a well-rounded way, and you're making sure to include all the products and photos of all kinds of skin, all kinds of hair, you're going to reach a wider audience than if you're only talking about what you use, which is kind of what we tend to fall into, especially when, you know, we find stuff that we love. We're like, oh my gosh, my hair has never been this shiny before. If I'm saying that to someone whose hair is so oily, they're like, that's the last thing I need, right? So just kind of keeping that in mind too, that the scope of our products is greater than just the ones that you use, and making sure to talk about all of them.
Yeah, that's really great. Our final little topic is do it. So we told you how to get connected, how to conquer your mindset, how to make goals, how to plan and launch. Now it comes down to going out there and just doing it. And that might sound scary. That might sound exciting. I'm not sure how that sounds, but I will tell you that if you find excitement and if you have your goals set, if you have a vision of where you are going and where you want to go, how can you not be excited? If you have your why and you're like, this is what's driving me, how can you not be excited? How can you not go out there and scream to the world that this is what you're doing? So excitement wins. If you can be excited, I mean, I just picture talking to somebody about products and they're just like, yeah, you know, they do help with frizz. Instead of like, I know we have products that help with frizz and I just started, I'm going to go find out what they are because I know they're going to help you. I know they're going to work. Like the confidence, the excitement, and what we've said before is ignorance on fire. You do not have to know everything. You don't have to know the ins and outs of the products. There are still things I'm still learning and I'll be like, okay, let's look up that product sheet so I can see what somebody asked the other day, like, does this help with this? And I was like, I don't know, but I have my resources and how I'm going to find it. So it's okay not to know the answer. There's somebody that knows the answer that can help you. You can post in these chats, or in the group, you can post, ask your sponsor, whatever it is, you can get the answer. The back office has so much information. If you didn't have a sponsor, I 100% believe that you could use the back office and go to the top. So the information is there. Go out and find it when you need it, but don't think that you have to know everything to get started. All you know is you're excited, you have your goals, and you have these awesome products to sell. Go. Just go and start and figure it out because you're going to learn so much. Like you guys, if you scroll back to the first post I made, I saw one recently and I was like, oh, okay, I've grown. But you want to grow, right? And you want to get better. So you're going to get better as you're learning. Take the initiative to learn things that you don't know. Take the initiative to dive in. And you really want to work this business on social media, go watch all the social media units that I shared at the very beginning. You want to grow your team, focus on that. You know what I mean? Like dive in and take the initiative to learn and be excited. And you're going to have success. Like I just really, truly feel like excitement is like the biggest fire you can have.
Enthusiasm really does win every single time. And just think about what made you decide to join this business. Like, why are you here? Because people will be like, well, how do I get people to do this with me? We do have entire videos on recruiting that you can watch and hear, but you guys, somebody got you to join this business. Something about this business intrigued you. Something about this business called to you to say, you know what, I'm going to try it. And other people are just like you. You just have to highlight the solutions, highlight what we have to offer, treat people like people, and just remember that consistency pays off. Do it, you guys. Do it scared, do it nervous, do it, fake that confidence until you find that confidence. It's all the things, but everything that you need to grow a healthy, sustainable business is here for you. And the only thing it comes down to is you showing up for yourself, for your goals, for your future every single day. And I would just like to say, I can't wait to see where so many people who are watching this new are a year from now, because it is transformative if you do it and you don't stop doing it until you get to where you want to go.
I think that's fire. I love it. I don't think we have anything else to add. Thank you guys so much. If you have questions, drop them below. Don't forget about the units tab because there's gold in there. There's so many answers in there. And we'll talk to you guys later.